Hi, welcome back to Black Mesa. Last episode, we killed Gonarch, and now we're going to be moving forward to... This is the other part of the game that I had gotten those 2 recordings done on, and that I'm actually going to be replaying. But I'm really looking forward to these, because these do some pretty cool things. We're going to be looking at a part of the game that it's sort of hinted at a little bit. It's hinted at in future games. It's hinted at with just like the story of Half-Life 2. It's kind of touched on a bit with the... What I even want to say. It's kind of touched on a bit with like some of the stuff we see and have seen earlier. But it's a great addition, and it's one of my favorite things that they've added on to this game. Alright. Alright. Nihilith is not happy with us. So, Interloper. That there, that's actually like machinery. That's machinery, that's technology, that's civilization. Something that we never really see until later on in the original Half-Life is we never see a good reason to believe that these things are anything more than animals or just random wildlife here. What they've added on to this game is basically they add on stuff that gives them this weird... I don't even know how to describe it. It's not like pre-industrial per se, because obviously they have industrial stuff, but it's very alien industry. I think that's the best way to put it. They clearly have an ability to make technology. They have houses, even if they're simple ones, you know, and God knows the kind of materials that they have to work with. They have all of this stuff here. And if we look at the subtitles, you'll notice something. It talks about the Vortigaunts crying, or weeping, or being in pain. So, sorry, I keep on having people message me on my phone here. So there is something that we haven't really touched on. We're going to go ahead and actually see what I'm talking about momentarily. Vortigaunt pleading and Vortigaunt weeping. So these guys here, we've fought them before. Those are the grunts. But those are the Vortigaunts, the guys who shoot lightning at us, and this one is beating him. And this one is keeping the others at bay. The Vortigaunts aren't all soldiers. They're... well, let's just go ahead, let's rescue this particular Vortigaunt, and let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about that. Here's one of them now. Look at that, they have like these shackles on them. They have these shackles, these collars, these cuffs, all this other stuff. And they're scared of us. The Vortigaunts aren't actually soldiers, they're slaves. Which is something else that they touch on in future games, but they aren't necessarily willing invaders. They're being sent in as basically cannon fodder that happen to do okay damage. Which is a fascinating idea. We get a little bit of a hint of this in the other... We get a little bit of a hint of this in the original. We get a little bit of a hint... We get more of a hint of this in 2. Let me go here. This is also these... These heal both. But, yeah, they're not actually a threat to us right now. And they're not going to be a threat to us until they're either forced to or if we attack them. As long as I don't attack them, they don't care that I'm here. And I can't talk to them, and they're just hiding. So, we're going to leave them alone. And we're going to move on to this. I just realized I think I went the wrong way. I should have gone over there first. Yeah, that's something that, again, it's touched on more in the original version. Or it's actually touched on less in the original version. They've drastically expanded it. You kind of get hints of this. We find these industrial areas where there's the Vortigaunts that are working, but they never really do anything. They just sit there and they work. And if you're around, then they don't really give a shit. They don't bother you. They don't bother with you. And if you don't, if you attack them, then they get hostile. But otherwise, it's basically all self-defense. If you look here, it looks like the Vortigaunts are using some sort of a teleporter system to send people away. So let's continue moving. Yeah, and even here, you have these really basic bed structures. They have fires. I'm trying to figure out what would be the... It's a really unique mix that you don't see super often outside of, like, almost post-apocalyptic things, where you have this combination of both, like, really modern technology. You know, like, these are clearly electricity and technical stuff. But you also have basically mud huts. Right. So, can you go ahead and help me? He just does not care that we're around, and he's somewhat confused. So let's go ahead and see. Are they going to go ahead and give me a hand? Thank you. Yeah. So, of course, these Vortigaunts... Oh, and you're coughing and wheezing. You're not in a good place. This one's worried about you. Yeah, the Vortigaunts just don't care. They care less that I'm some sort of, like, hostile foreign force. They just... It doesn't matter to them. I'm just another person. They're just here to work. Okay, I can't break through that. And they eat head crabs. It actually kind of makes this game a little bit... How do I want to put it? It makes the game maybe a little bit sadder to think about. To think about the fact that we've been killing these things when they weren't necessarily even hostile to us. And that's a really interesting way of doing it. I remember kind of realizing that in the original game. And kind of thinking, oh, well, that's weird. You know, why would they do that? Let me go this way here. Actually, I'll quick show you something. But that actually really sets up a lot of interesting things that you can do with the storyline here. So what I originally tried to do is I tried to jump into that vent. I'm not even sure if it's possible or if that's just like a hidden Easter egg area. Although I think on one side, wasn't there just like a grate somewhere inside of it? Maybe. But this is... Come on, Gordon. This is actually where we have to go. I think I did that 3 or 4 times, so I kind of felt like an idiot when I realized that I could just jump through here. Alright. And now we're going to head on up, because what we need to do is we need to power up the second console after hitting that first button by where we entered this area. Nice of them that Vortigaunts apparently are about the same size as people, so that we can just climb through their vent systems. As one does, So, get out my old trusty Magnum here. Anybody else in here that's going to be a threat? Oh, look, and some of my favorite ammo. Ooh, and Magnum ammo. Actually, you know what I might do? I might go ahead and get this out then, to go ahead and be a problem solver. So, what do you think is going to happen when we go ahead and press that button? I'm going to predict nothing good, even though I've already gotten to this point previously. And we're also going to see a sort of new interesting mechanic is going to take form. So, these guys are back. And if you notice, they have these lines connecting them to the Vortigaunts. These guys are some sort of... I don't even know what to really call them. They're some sort of, like, slave driver creatures. And you can see that the Vortigaunts that they control, actually, they stay hostile to me. And as I go ahead and kill these things, the Vortigaunts will actually get less and less hostile. So those ones now should not really be angry with me. Boy, I've actually taken a significant amount of damage in it. Yeah, I stayed in that one room too long. I think last time I jumped out immediately. But yeah, those things, I need to kill those things above me, because as soon as they're gone, Vortigaunts stop caring about it. And instead, they decide that they want to focus on basically surviving. So I want to go ahead and keep shooting you. The good news is, of course, that as long as I'm actually down here, they actually have less ability to shoot me because of their houses, or whatever you want to call them. They can't really hit me because they're stuck in the way. Come on, I'm trying not to have to kill any of the Vortigaunts if I can, just to... Okay, we're gonna get back to the old MP5, because I'm using a shotgun at ranges that doesn't make sense to use a shotgun at. Alright, and are you the last one of your friends? It looks like it. Yeah, you can see there's Vortigaunts that are unhappy. And I imagine that actually is pretty unpleasant to have happen, to have your brain more or less taken over. I do want to go back up there because I think there was some like health and supplies and such. Let's keep on moving. Yeah, and it sounds like because the music is gone, we'll probably save. That was actually another really good track. I quite liked that. I think, yeah, the one with the Gonark as well. That was another really excellent piece that they had playing. Alright, come on through here. Alright, anything else over this way that I can get? A little bit of ammo, a little bit of supplies. I kind of wonder what the Vortigaunts were thinking when these things started, like, popping out. Because you'd imagine maybe they would go explore them, but I don't know, maybe these, maybe the lids that are blowing off, maybe they only trigger in the presence of an HEV suit. I'm not sure. But yeah, these guys, they're now just kind of hanging out. I think the original time I played this, they actually were more cowering in fear, maybe? Or hiding in some way? So, I'm not sure what changed with that. But anyway, we're going to keep on moving. So, those weird controller things, and I don't know what their names are, they destroyed this, so we actually do have to go through this vent now. And we get into another elevator. And we're going to proceed forward and see what's going on. You hear a plotting sound. That plotting sound is not going to be fun. That plotting sound is one of them. One of the big guys. Now, I mentioned the other episode that there is kind of a pain in the neck sequence that's coming up. And really, really kind of unpleasant to go through because it reminds me a little bit of some of those sequences with Gonark where I kept on dying. Let's do it this way. And, oh yeah, this is just a little more platforming. But it actually has a really kind of cool ending sequence, so I'm willing to go ahead and, damn it, I'm willing to go ahead and give it the benefit of the doubt just to get that done. I think this is going to end up, yeah, because I believe last time that when I recorded this, I think it was the initial episode. Yeah, the Gonark episode, because it was so long, I ended up making this one a little shorter just to compensate for it. Because I didn't really want to be running, you know, 40, 45-minute episodes, and I had limited time to do anything then. Let's keep on going here. But it was... So I think this will end up being a very short episode, all things considered. I mean, we're at, what, 12 minutes, basically? Just shy of 13? Trying to actually remember what's coming up so maybe I don't die as often, because I died like 7 times. You know what's coming up in this sequence. Just, you know, I'd overshoot something, or I'd miss a jump or something like that, and it sucked. There was also, we had a sort of Metro 2033 moment where the game may have auto-saved me in a really, really bad place, and I'll try to show you where that happened, because there's no guarantee that I'm not going to mess up that jump again. So, once we get up this area a little further, we're going to start encountering some of the stuff that I was talking about here. So, yep, there is one of the Gargantuans, who of course are not big fans of me. I don't really know what their story is as well in relation to all of this, because I think I may have mentioned it in one of the other videos that there is this like common physical feature set that a lot of the creatures share. You know, all of the Vortigaunts, for example, they have like these arms on their chest, basically. Oh, come on, game. Yeah, they have these arms on their chest, and so do these big guys, actually. They have arms on their chest, and I believe it was, oh dear, oh that's right, yeah, I just go this way. Yeah, as do the alien grunts, as do the, oh dear, I believe as do these big things, the Gargantuans that are chasing me. So I'm not sure, like, if that's just a common feature set of certain species, or if that's something that's innate, if they maybe share a common ancestor. It's a neat little add-on that they have in this game. Oh, fuck you. I think that may have gotten me the same thing last time. Yeah, where it kind of nails you off the edge a little bit. which I'm really not a fan of, but, you know, again, maybe I'm supposed to be shooting these things. I'm trying to run past them instead. Although, yeah, apparently there is a surface there because the game did deploy landing jets just before I died. So, let us continue this way. That is not at all what I wanted to do, game. Oh, crap. You know what? I think I'm going to die because I think I've fallen backwards. Come on. Yeah, and we're having that same issue I talked about a little bit with Gonarch with the... I talked a little bit in the last episode about where the jump jets, like, aren't launching properly. Yeah, there we go. Which, as you can see, is causing a few minor problems where I'm trying to run away from enemies that, for some reason, I'm just not able to actually make the distance that I need. Oh, crap. This way? Yep, this is one of the areas that I died in, I recall this. I don't remember where I'm supposed to go. Yeah, because I think it's like I need to go along a side path or something somewhere. And yeah, we're still having the same problem where I can't jump away. Yeah, if that's actually something that I believe is a bug in the game, or at least it sure as hell feels like it. I'd like to see them go back and try to fix that. Oh, but and yeah, I had the same thing just happen. We're supposed to jump across the chasm to get to the other side. Which, as you can imagine, somewhat difficult to do when the game just pretty much laughs at you and is like, haha, your jump button doesn't work anymore. So that's... Is this the first, like, actual bug that I think is broken the game? Like this particular issue with, where, you know, this thing doesn't seem to work right? I think it might be. But anyway, this is actually a kind of cool sequence. Yeah, if we look up here, you can see there's a whole bunch of these things, and they're just looking at me. You know, we got one up there, we got, I think, yeah, there's one up here. There actually, I think, might have been a third one, but I think it glitched out because I kept on going back and forth. I really like the idea of that sequence where you're getting chased by these, like, monsters, and you have to pretty much just run. There's no way you can kill them all. Even if I had as much ammo as the game could possibly give me... Okay, why are... Yeah, even if I had as much ammo as the game would ever give me, I don't think that I'd be able to kill them all. So that's a kind of cool idea. Let me try this again, maybe? Okay, there we go. But yeah, the implementation of the, like, long jump system, I think, kind of wrecks it, especially when it's a lot of uphill running. I do not like that. That one actually caused a little bit of frustration there. And I don't mind dying if I'm dying to something that feels like it's my fault. You know, if I mess up a jump and jump off an edge, that's like, you know, that's an annoyance, but that's something that I have to deal with. But if I'm having to use mechanics that don't work, I don't like that. So I'm really hoping there's going to be like a healing pool or one of those, I don't even know, one of those like little generator-looking things? Something like that? Whatever it is that goes ahead and gives me a whole bunch of health, because right now I'm pretty much one good hit away from dying, and that's not where I'd like to be. Let's go this way. Swimming, swimming, swimming. Yeah, we can just swim uphill against the current, that's fine. So that is something else that they do. They actually really kind of captured the Nihilith voice. It always came across like really deep and kind of from like outside, but it was also in your head. And it was... I'm trying to even think like what I want to... How did I want to really phrase that? The voice nails it because it comes across as like alien, in my opinion at least. It comes across as something otherwise unknown and otherwise unknowable. Go ahead and shoot that. So, kind of like the explosive sacks earlier, these are, I'm assuming, some kind of acid? Alright. That was nice of you guys, thank you. I really, really needed that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, they do a really good job, because it comes across as like powerful, but unknown, but a problem. Oh, and thank you. Please go ahead and open this. Yeah, and I think we're coming up on the place that... Yeah, I think we're coming up on the place that ended up cutting out the last video. Or are we at the place that I actually... I think I started recording a little bit after the last one, only to realize, oh no, that I actually didn't have any audio. Because this looks a little familiar. But, oh no, I know exactly where I cut. It's coming right up here. Yeah, let's go over this way. Oh, and if I didn't mention it, because my memory is just god-awful, that place where my jump button failed, and I was talking about that buggy issue, it kind of started it, that is where the game actually auto-saved me mid-jump, but my jump, I think I got smacked or something, so I went like sideways a bit, and it basically saved me falling into a pit. So I ended up having... I got very, very lucky because there was a... Yeah, I think it gave me an autosave just before the jump as well, or like just before that gate. It's the same place that I died in. Or, yeah, it's the same place that I respawned in, where I had to jump through that wall. Hello. Oh, yeah, you don't actually care. You just look at me and you're like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy this music for a minute. Man, that was a great line. That was not even a line, that was a great track. I'm gonna have to find that one, because that's another really good one, and it does a great job of sort of selling this moment. So I believe... This is exactly where I cut off the last video that I had done. What I believe I'm gonna have to do is I'm going to have to press a button, and everything is probably going to go wrong. I'm sure something will disconnect or something will break, and I'll have to go ahead and mess with that, because these look like fuel cells. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you next time.